A fan of Air Jordan 1s? Like the Nike Cortezes? Rock yourself a pair of Air Force 1s? Then this is the video for you, because we are covering all three sneakers today in this video. Last year, for the opening of the New York City Nike flagship store, Nike dropped a range of very limited releases called the noise cancelling releases, and there are quite a few of them. And what Nike have done is they've taken 3 of those noise cancelling releases and they're putting them on general release, and they're doing that tomorrow. So if you're watching this today, then that happens tomorrow. But if your today isn't today, then that doesn't happen tomorrow, and it's already happened. Either way, it's a banging 3 pair of sneakers: the Nike Air Force 1s, the Nike Air Jordan 1s, and the Nike Cortezes, all in that banging, almost a triple white colorway for the noise cancelling pack. And this is a cracking week to be checking in with content from Tokyo Butter 23. This week we will hit 100 consecutive days of daily content. Back in December, I think it was December 7th, I decided to take this channel daily, and I've done 100 consecutive days, or I will have done 100 consecutive days come Saturday. And for that, I'm doing a special video called The History of the Bread 4s. And it's going to be a really cracking video when we look at the history of the Bread 4s from 1989 to 2019, 30 years of Air Jordan 4s, and particularly that bread colorway, which is a classic, iconic look for the Air Jordan 4s. And that'll come on Saturday, which is day 100 of daily content for this channel. And speaking of daily content, I do bring you daily content, and my sub count is jumping and climbing, and we've gone past that 200 mark, which I appreciate very much. And when we get to 250, I'll be dropping that surprise on the channel that I wanted to tell you about, but I'm keeping it a secret until 250 subscribers. But under 1,000 subscribers means I don't get a penny for doing this. That's 100 days of effort and time for nothing in return except for likes, views, and subscribes. So if you appreciate me hitting you up with daily content, hit the subscribe button and let me know, and give me some love back, because it's hard work, I promise you. It's hard work bringing you daily content, and not getting anything for it is pretty challenging, and I do look forward to the day that I actually get past 1,000 subs. But right now, the currency I work in is subscribers, so if you could hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. 毎日アップするので、ぜひ登録をして毎日見てください。Alright, let's have a look at these 3 noise cancelling sneakers that are dropping real soon. Well, tomorrow if you're watching this video on the day that I actually made it, but of course you're more than likely watching it in the past, and these guys have already dropped. But they're a fantastic looking sneaker, but there's a few important things to know about them. First and foremost, 3 sneakers. One is Maria Sharapova, one is Odell Beckham Jr., and the other one is Nigel Sylvester. So you've got 3 different iconic sports people from their own fields, and they represent each one of these shoes. Now, they are completely white, and there's a reason for that. And the reason is that they're designed for customization. The purpose behind them and the features on them are designed so that people can take them away and actually customize them. It's something that Nike wants you to do. I think it's an unusual step in Nike's part that they actually want you to do the customization and not them, because usually they have you sort of order customized shoes through their website and through their stores. But it's interesting that now what they're saying is, here, we're going to make these sneakers in a way that you can customize them. And there's a few features on the sneakers, including that all-white upper and that all-white outsole, but there's a few more there's a few more features on there that will help you out there, the purchaser, actually customize each of these 3 sneakers: the Air Force 1s, the Air Jordan 1s, and the Nike Cortezes. The first place that I want to look is I want to have a look at 3 particular features on these sneakers that are really distinctive to these sneakers and to do with that customization element. Now, I don't want to go through each pair of sneakers and say, here it is on this sneaker, here it is on this sneaker, here it is on this sneaker. So what I'll do is I'll just take examples for one, and we'll start with the Nike Cortezes. So the first thing that I want you to notice and want you to know about is that swoosh on the side, which is all white, and you look at the stitching on it, and it's very large sort of spacing between the stitching, and it doesn't look very tight, because it's not. It's not supposed to be tight. It's supposed to be removable. You can sort of pull on the stitching there and just, I don't know, if you drag one end of it, is that the best way to say that? It'll just pull the stitching out really smoothly without damaging the upper and without damaging the swoosh, and literally the swoosh will just fall off. And that way you can customize the upper and then reattach the swoosh as white, or you can customize the upper in one color, customize the swoosh in another color, and then reattach the swoosh. But it's very difficult to do that with the swoosh attached. You'll either get some bleed from the upper into the swoosh or vice versa. So it's a way that Nike are saying to you guys at home, if you want to customize these guys, you can do so very, very easily by pulling on this thread here, remove the swoosh, and there you have it. You can customize the upper and the swoosh. So removable swooshes on all three sneakers. I'm demonstrating it here with the Cortezes, but on all three sneakers is one of the main features. Another feature on all three of them, and this time we'll jump to the Air Force Ones, is that there's exposed stitching with zigzag patterning in many, many places. Now on the Air Force Ones here, I've chosen to use the quarter panel as the point where I show you that zigzag stitching, but it's in other places, of course, like I said, on the other three, well, the other two sneakers, but also on the Air Force Ones as well. But I don't want to go through every sneaker doing that. So here you've got an example of that zigzag stitching, which is on the Air Force Ones, and I think it really kind of gets the point across that these three sneakers have that kind of patterning in the stitching. And then the third thing that all three of these guys have on them is a pull before play tab on the swooshes. Right at the back of the swooshes on both the lateral and the medial sides, you've got this pull before play tab. And I think that's what you pull if you want to get that stitching out and get that swoosh off. And I've chosen this time to use the Air Jordan 1s as a way to demonstrate that, because from the heel perspective of the Air Jordan 1s, you can see that the pull tabs are on both sides. They're on the lateral and medial swooshes and not just on one side, as sometimes detailing is on some sneakers. So that's three different points that come across all three sneakers: the removable swooshes, the zigzag exposed stitching and the patterning there, and also that pull before play with a swoosh, actually, if I remember rightly, with a swoosh on there on each of these sneakers at the very end of both sides of the swooshes, the lateral and the medial sides. Now the final thing that I want to look at on these guys is actually something that is not white. These are, I don't know, can we go for 99.9% white? Maybe that's a good number. They're almost completely white, but there are three places where each of these sneakers actually have black accents on them, and they are removable accents in a sense. The first place that we're going to do is go back to that pull before play tab. As I did say, on each of these sneakers they have that pull before play tab, and it is in black with the Nike swoosh branding on there. Very small thing, but yes, pull that off and it's removed, so you're back to just that white sneaker. The second place where each of these sneakers have a black piece of writing on them is on that tongue pull tab up there. You can see it's a sort of translucent pull tab, and if you look really closely you can see where it connects to the tongue itself. There's a white sort of circular plastic piece which tells you that it's actually removable, so you can remove that piece again for customization. You customize the sneaker whichever color you want it to be and then reattach it. Had that not been removable, it would be very difficult to remove, it would be very difficult to get the coloring right, and you'd get that bleed that I talked about before with the upper and the swoosh. And yes, there is black on there if you look at the writing. Now there's a point in here that I don't know, and I hope somebody out there can hit me up with a comment and let me know what the point is that on those tabs, on those tongue tabs, there's actually what is, I don't know what you'd call it, it's like I don't know, the scientific representation of noise. I don't know, sometimes people with their newborn babies, when they cry for the first time, they record that noise and then they get a tattoo of the sort of, I don't know, the scientific representation of it. I can't explain it any more better than that, but you can see it in the picture here anyway, so it doesn't really matter how I explain it. But anyway, that is black on there on those translucent pull tabs on the tongues, the black writing on there. And then the final place where there's black writing is actually on the insole, the branding on the inside, white insoles with that black Nike branding on the inside. And I suppose you could take out the insoles and replace them with white ones if you wanted a perfectly white sneaker. But again, I don't think the insoles are to do with the customization so much. People don't tend to customize their insoles, do they? They might replace them with alternative ones, but they don't customize them, in my opinion. So you have basically got a pure white canvas, that customizers out there will just take and do whatever they want with. They can do it in a way so as not to have that bleed. You don't need to tape off the swoosh, for example. That's a common way to customize, is to tape off the swoosh and then get the upper colored in. You just take the swoosh right off, and that way you'll get a really good join between the colors of what you decide the upper to be and the swoosh to be. So it's a really neat design element that Nike are bringing us, these customizable sneakers, the Air Force Ones, the Air Jordan 1s, and the Nike Cortezes. I think they're a really banging pack, really interesting step that Nike are taking, going on general release on March 12th, which is tomorrow at the point of shooting this video, but it's probably the past if you're watching this video at the moment. So thanks for checking in today, guys. I really really do appreciate it. We're getting close to that 100th video, which will be the history of the Jordan 4 bread, which comes on Saturday, which is day 100 of daily content. I am growing the channel, and getting up past 200 subscribers really does please me. It is the only currency I deal in because I don't get paid for this. So if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, please do. For now, I'm going to check off, but thank you for checking into my content and watching my channel. Tomorrow is the top 10. I do a weekly top 10 on Tuesdays, and we're doing some work on the Tuesdays right now to help content creators out there. So if you're a content creator, please check into tomorrow's video when we talk about ways to improve your channel and to get your SEO up there. If you're not into that and you're just into sneakers, come back on Wednesday when we'll be starting off one pack of Yeezys. There's a 3-pack of Yeezys dropping this week, and we'll be talking about one of them on Wednesday, which is the Asia drop for the upcoming Yeezy 350 V2s. So definitely check in for that on Wednesday. Either way, hit the subscribe button, check in my content because it is here every single day, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.